let's start with part A. Yes, people? Let's start with part A. Yes. Okay, done. So the first chapter will be starting with those people, chapter 2. Chapter 1 will be the last part of company law. Once we are done with all the chapters, we'll be covering the company law first chapter. I'll tell you the reason also why. Yes, Sagar, it is. Okay, now people, we'll start now. Yes, sir? People are? Okay. So, okay. So, always remember people, now whenever we discuss about law, every act will have two sections in common, most of it. Around 90% of the acts have two sections in common. What is that? Section 1 is always called as applicability, meaning company law will apply to whom. Section 2, most of the acts will also be common. What is section 2? Section 2 always covers definitions. Now what do you mean by definitions in an act? Always remember, now whenever I am reading a Companies Act, now there are so many words that the lawmaker would have used in 470 sections. In Companies Act in total there are 470 sections. He would have used a lot of technical words. For example, a word like associate company. You guys have heard it also. But when I ask you what is an associate company, what would you tell? What is an associate company? So he has used the word. In the act, you will see the word called associate company being used. But what do you mean by associate company? It would have been defined under section 2. So according to the lawmaker, whenever there are any words, if you are not able to understand, open the section 2 of the act. I would have only defined what does that word mean. Before you Google it, before you use Oxford Dictionary, first come and use my dictionary, which the lawmaker himself has written. That itself is called section 2. Section 2 is nothing but the dictionary of that particular act. That is applicable only for that act. So section 2 are nothing but, you will be seeing 94 definitions in section 2. Now if I sit and tell you all the definitions, obviously you will not understand. So what will we be doing? Whenever that particular word comes, as and when we are doing all the 11 units of Companies Act, if we find a word, we will define it there only. So like that we will be covering around 70% to 80%. If there is still something that is left out, we will go back in the last and we will cover it. Is clear all of you? So that's why chapter 1 we will be taking up after chapter 11. Understood all of you? Logical? Yes? Okay, done. So video is not clear. Is it for everyone? Online, is the video clear? Is the video clear? Okay. So check that, it should be your network. It is clear it seems. Okay. Done. So let us start with chapter 2. Chapter 2 people talks about incorporation of company and matters incidental thereto. This is your chapter 2. We'll be starting with that. Yes? Okay. We'll be covering that. Okay, first question people. How much of your CA foundation law knowledge is still sitting in your head? How much of your law knowledge is still... Sir, gatam. Law is done, exam is done, syllabus also done, our memory is also done. You guys remember something there? You guys had company law in your CA foundation only? You had it? Somewhere? Companies Act? You had it? Somewhere you had some basics also, types of companies, something and all was there? Okay. For anyone, is law subject absolutely new? Any of you? Okay. Yes. First thing, when you are in the herd, that is when you guys have to make wise choices. Remember, do not get carried on with the herd. One student might have understood. But it is not a compulsion that even you should also understand. Until you guys, the concept is clear, you have a right to ask the question. I will not judge you. You don't judge yourself also. That is clear, all of you. So if I ask you something, feel free. That's why you guys are here. That's why you are called as students. If not, you would have only become teachers. All of you, agreed or not? So if you guys have not understood, then feel free to ask the question. Is clear, all of you? Okay. So we have a mix. I'll tell you basics and then we'll start with the law. First of all, sir, whenever I'm speaking about law, first of all, why do we need law? Or first of all, why law to you guys? Why law for you? To control? To control a person's behavior. Okay, to control a person's behavior with society. Okay, done. Why else?
To know the basics of law so that it will be helpful in the company.
Okay, you need to know the basics so that it will be helpful for you when you work with the company. Okay, and why else? Okay, why law generally?
So those are the guidelines.
Those are the guidelines. Guidelines for a person to probably govern himself. Okay, done. Why else? What else?
Set up rules and regulations when everyone can abide by it.
Okay, set of rules and regulations. Everyone needs to abide by it. Okay, fair enough. Okay, why? What else? What else is law? But why law for you guys? As you said, yes, it will be helpful for you for when you get into the company. What else the reason, people? Why law for you? Have you ever thought of it? Marks. That's the right. We need marks, sir. We have to know. Unfortunately, we have to pass every subject. Correct. Yes. Why law, people? Don't you think this is there with all three sister concerns we have? All three professions we have? You guys have cost accountancy. I mean, you have your cost accountancy also. When we have a full professional who can work as a cost accountant. You have a CS who can work as a complete law professional. They also have your financial accounting, FM and all will be there. When you go there, they will ask why this subject for us. When we come here, you ask why law subject for us. Even I will tell you my opinion on that also, which I also feel. In India, we have this where you will be studying some portion of content which is there with other professions also. Unlike we have it in other countries, where in other countries you clearly know that, imagine if, for example, there is in CS there will be something called as labor laws. See, labor laws is completely practiced by an advocate. We have an LLB person who is absolutely into it. Now they will be learning about that labor laws also. But whereas if you go outside India, there is a clear bifurcation between what you study as a professional, what you need, and what the other person have to study. There is a clear bifurcation. And why is that like that in our profession, sir? Remember, in Companies Act, there are a lot of sections where you guys also can make money. In company law. I'll tell you, don't go anywhere. The first chapter, what we are starting with, company incorporation. What do you mean by incorporation? Starting a company. You guys can make money here. How much, sir? Generally, I'll tell you, if at all you are an article, imagine you are doing your articleship. If at all I need to work on companies incorporation. Anyone doing your articleships here? Okay, have you worked on company incorporation? Not yet. You are also working? You did? Have you done your company's incorporation? What is the time you take to fill the form? Or 10 minutes? That's the time taken. Can you tell?
If everything is there means
10 minutes time. If everything is there, people, 10 minutes it seems. Okay. And can we ask how much your senior was charging for that?
5,000, 7,000, 10,000.
5,000, 7,000, 10,000, 12,000? 20,000? Sir, auction. Let us start the auction. 20,000. Yes, I'll tell you the market average, people. You can easily charge 15,000 rupees to 20,000. Isn't it a good money? What is the time she said that will take? Now I'll tell you one more thing. You will not work on it. It will be your articles only. Once you become a CA, it is your articles who will be working on it. 10 minutes you spend. You spend 2 minutes to just review the form. And how much you will get up, how much will you get people? Around 15 to 20,000. Like this, there are many places under Companies Act where you guys can make money. Now, is it useful? 100%. Now, point number 2. Imagine you will have a client whom you are doing your, probably you will be managing their payroll, you will be managing their accounts, you might be managing their audit, you will be doing something for them. But when they are talking to you, they will be asking you other advices as well. They do not know what you have studied, but they will come to you. For example, you go to a doctor, you speak from our parents' mentality. Whenever they go to a doctor, all the problems in their life will open up. But that person might be a general surgeon, but you do not know what he knows. You will ask heart related issues with him only, ortho related issues with him only. Now when we do not know, the same way the client do not know that what you know, what you do not know. It is expected out of you to know the basics of everything that is there for a company to run. That's why you will be fed with all the basics of how a company will run. Every individual department will be taught to you. That's how your curriculums are built. Understood? What a fair idea, na? Yes, okay. Now, as you guys rightly said, how is a law made? Let us take basics only. How do we make a law? How is a law made? How do you make a law? Parliament. So you guys have just elected few people, no? You will elect, no? MLAs, MPs and all. You guys will elect. Now these people will go sit there. They will see which are the places where we need to make some law. For example, in 2009, when government felt that we need to make some law here, that government was called Congress government. The Congress government said that, hey, I'm not towards any political party, I'm just telling you what has happened, that's all. In 2009, they said Congress government wanted to introduce GST bill. They wanted to introduce GST in the year 2009. So they came up with a proposal in the parliament. It is time for India to also go towards GST. That time we had some opposition. Who was opposition of Congress? BJP. BJP in 2009 said, "Humko GST nahi chahiye." In 2009, BJP said that. In 2016, basically around 2015, where BJP came, BJP felt, hey, now it is a time da. We need GST. Humko wo GST chahiye. And you know irony? Now the oppositions were Congress. Congress said, "Humko GST nahi chahiye." And this is how our parliament is built. Unfortunate, yes, we are amongst that politics. Whether you accept it or not, no one is good, no one is bad. Everyone has a color of everything. But we have to just live with them. We don't have any choice. That too, if you guys just look around what is happening, you know now, off late, especially now that is whatever is happening in Karnataka, how many cases? One though, if you look at in politics, one is Revanna's case. Adu, Anna Bond has done one movie only there. Movies, sorry, very experienced person. And one more person challenging what and all he has challenged in life now. I'm not sure. Okay, I'm sorry. No controversies. Case is going on. Let the case take its own action. Fans andro, sorry kandro. Okay, ನಾನು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡ್ರೋ ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು. Yeah, but yes, anything too much is too bad. Even for favoritism also, always have a limit. That showed whatever has happened in Darshan's case. See, that is what now whenever I say, I'll tell you actually there is one very beautiful case with regards to law also. Can you ever imagine a scenario where, I'll tell you one small story, you know, it's something really good. In law, which I feel it was, one case was very interesting. This was in the year around 1980s. I'm not exactly sure on which place it is. There was a birth of a boy, and the boy was around 3 months old, 5 months old. He was absolutely normal. Whatever was happening with everyone, he was also the usual way. Once he was 1.5 year old, the boy acted a little abnormal, you know, not like any other child. He started speaking very, very early in his age, around 1.5 or before he was even 2, he started speaking words. By the time he was 2.5 years old, this person started saying that what kind of parents you are. I'm saying he's just 2.5, 3 years old. He comes and says, look at this house. Can I stay here? I'm telling you, 3-year-old boy. He's telling you, you guys are living in poverty. I'm a very rich person. I don't eat this for my meal. Go get my car. What are you guys doing? This is not where I belong. So this person started behaving very abnormal since he was 2.5, 3 years old. Now, even the parents also, what will they say? When 2.5-year-old person says, what will you do? Obviously, mother would have hit her. That's a different story. But you will start living with that. So now the person became 4-year-old. He started saying a little more abnormal things. He said, I will not walk anywhere. You will have to take me in a vehicle. I belong to a rich family. And you guys are not my parents. And he started saying different names and he started calling them as parents when he was 4 years old. And he's telling with surnames. He's telling, this is my father and this is my mother. You guys are not my parents. What are you guys doing to me? And when he was 4 years old. And when he was 5 years old, he's telling that, I'm married to a person. Where is my wife? There doesn't end the story. He's telling, I have kids. 2 kids. You ne kid. So he is 5-year-old. He's telling, I have 2 kids. And he's telling, I have a business. I need to know what is happening with my business. And he said one very interesting thing back then. But whatever happened to me shouldn't have happened. People started thinking, is he trying to communicate something? Is he trying to say that something happened to him? Which boy can speak so much? And he's telling all the names. He's telling his wife's name. He's telling his children's name. Now what happened? In the same family, the eldest son took these words a little serious. And whatever the words he is telling, he started to observe them, he started to make a note of them. So constantly he used to say, in a different place, in a different state, I have a business, and the business name, if I'm not wrong, is called Surya Kiran Times. If I'm not wrong, that's the business name. I have a business, I'm the owner of Surya Kiran Times, and this is in so and so place. He's telling how to reach that place. And he's telling which car he drives. He's telling literally everything. So this brother makes a note of literally everything. And one day, along with his friend, the brother decides to go to that place. And he actually wants to know what this person is speaking. What is happening? Literally. So one day he actually went to that place. And he started going to the lane which he again and again repeated that this is the place. He went there. He started seeing all the shops. For his surprise, he actually saw the shop called Surya Kiran Times there. Exactly the place where the 4-year-old boy said. It was there. Once he went inside, he's telling that the business was so and so. The business was that. And he said, where his house is. So these people now wanted to go to the house as well. Now when they went to the house, people, they found 2 people, and that is, there are mother and father, what he was claiming them to be. They were there and the names were true. So one day what did they decide? Now these people, that is his brother and friend, whoever went there, they tried to communicate to them whatever was happening, some unusual and abnormal things which we are seeing in our brother. They convinced the parents also. They said, this is what has been happening with him. He gave us certain details. We just follow to this place, just following the details, and everything seems to be right. So this person said, no, this might also be a scenario because, and he is telling, I am this person. He imagine his name, he is calling as, my name is Titu. He is calling himself as Titu Singh. So he is telling, I am Titu Singh. Now when they went there, when they actually went to the house, they got to know a person named Titu Singh was killed just 5 days before his birth. Whosoever that 4-year boy I am telling you, this person's 5 days before his birth, this person called Tittu Singh had passed away. And when they checked how he was killed, some people in the market, they had come and they had shot him in his head. So there was a pure shot which was here, and the bullet even had gone from the other part of the skull. And he was dead. He was declared dead then and there. And back then, I'm talking about 1970s, 80s, there was no predominant CC cameras, there was no evidence. The police people tried for 4 to 5 years, they could not get any evidence, people, and they actually closed the case. Because whom will we even suspect? Now this person, after, they got to know, okay, this person called Tittu Singh is there. Now what did the actual parents do? They wanted to say that we also want to see what he's telling. And second thing, whatever this entire story I'm narrating you, this had come in the newspaper also. Obviously it's a murder case, it had come in the newspaper. The character's name and all were there. That a person called Tittu Singh was killed, he had so and so parents, he was a business merchant, all this had come in the newspaper also. But one thing you need to observe, obviously he's a 2-year-old kid. How will he read? How will he know all that? But he is still claiming that I know all these things, and all this went on for a while. So one day what happened, the parents and the wife and all, they wanted to see whether whatever this boy is claiming, is it true or not. So what did they do? They had 3 tests. The test one was, people, they will call this person, whoever is claiming, the boy, as a Tittu Singh, they called him, they said, come, let's go to the home. So first actually what happened, the parents came to the boy's home, the actual parents, I mean whomever he is claiming, the past parents, they came and they are telling, come, let us go to your place. So they went to the boy's place. As and when they entered the home, this boy, he recognized those 2 parents and he said, you are my father, you are my mother. Tell them that I am telling them for the last 3 years that they are not my parents, but they are keeping me against my wish. I did not want to stay here. Father and mother, take me back to my place. Take me back to where I belong. I do not belong here. He started recognizing them. So now they said, okay, let us do one thing. Let us test whether what he is telling is true or not. So the first thing, people, they came in a car. He ran and he sat in the car and he said, this is my car. This is the car I was telling you guys that I was driving a car. This was a car. It was Fiat back then. And the boy, who was 5.5, 6-year-old, because of his age, he could not reach accelerator. But in the FIR I'm telling you, and in the facts of the case, it is written that with the help of the brother, the 5-year-old who had not even started driving his cycle, he drove the car for the very first time the day he saw it. He was just 5-year-old. He started driving Fiat car. Now people felt, okay, what he is telling might be right. Unless and until you remember so much, how can a person, 5-year-old person, drive Fiat car? In that village, he has not even seen a car. Now what happened? They thought, let us take them back to the place what he is claiming to. So imagine the shop was here. Wantedly, what did they do? They drove the car really fast in front of the shop only, just to know whether will this person identify. So they went really fast in front of the shop. This person said, where are you going? Our shop just left. It is there. He remembers the streets. So they take them back to the street. He started identifying, when I was running this business, this was not there, this has been made, some changes have been made. He starts identifying everything. And the third thing, people, the third test for him was identifying his kids. He identifies his kids also. So 3 tests, people, according to the people, it is now convinced that yes, he is Tittu Singh. At least they are able to convince them, yes, this is a person. Now the 4th thing and very important thing, he is telling, I want to take revenge against the person who killed me. Don't you think what I am telling you, it's sounding like fictional story? Magadira, some current shock and all is happening. Isn't it something like that? Now you will not believe, he is telling, I remember my murderer. He says, no, whatever you are saying is not true. And very, very, unusual things, people. In this case, as he said, I remember, I being killed. So what did they do? They had to, shave his head because he's telling that I remember the murderer. And the actual parents started saying, we remember that there was some mark here for the little boy. He has a little mark here, birthmark. So they shaved his head and they found he has two marks. One here, one here. One was the bullet entering, one was the bullet exiting. And this I'm telling you with the boy. Whatever I'm telling you, letter by letter is there in FIR. You will not believe whatever he said. He said, I remember seeing this person, and he convinced the police people that I remember seeing everything. The first time, based upon the boy's statements, they reopened the case. A 5-year boy made the police reopen the case. He gave them some evidences. It was proven that the person who did the murder was in fact his business competitor who could not take his growth, had killed this person called as Titu Singh, and the same boy could identify this is the person with evidences that he only did the murder. In India's history, this is the only case of reincarnation. They call reincarnation, the rebirth. On that, in court, officially one case was proven, and even today, he is, if I'm not wrong, a maths professor in one of the university. Now I think he's around 40-year-old. There are 100 documentaries on this person. And it's the only case of reincarnation which was proven in the court. Even if you see Titu Singh case, you can see everything with facts, with pictures, with videos are there. Everything. You can see the boy, in fact. You can see the skull marks and all. Everything is there, including his Fiat car, everything is there. So that was his Titu Singh's case. And here there were a lot of, crucial things that was proven. In fact, with regards to evidences and all, and how the case was reopened. First time in India this type of incident had happened. That was this case. It's called Titu Singh case. If you guys are interested to know more, you guys can actually do a research on it. It's called Titu Singh case. It is there. You have it in, you have FIRs also. In public domain, there are documents released also. So that is also there. Yeah. So that was a very interesting case, which I personally feel it was very good. Yeah. Even, don't you think so? If you actually see how the entire case was handled. Can a person come back after 5 years and take a revenge of his own story? Magadhir are inspired by this only, da. Magadhir had heroine. Here it was not heroine. Yes, so that was his particular case law. Yes. Yes. There are some more also, but yes, this was the case. Okay. Now coming back to company law. Okay. Tell one more case. Maarta irtino. Company law, my tata will come and teach. Okay. So we'll start with company law. So as you rightly said, why I'm saying this main important thing is, whenever I say about law, there are 3 people who are very, very important. The first person is the lawmakers. We generally call them as 3 organs of the country. What are the 3 organs? One is called legislative. Second one is called as executive. Okay. Third one is called judiciary. So these 3 are the very main 3 elements of the law. The first one is called as legislature. That is nothing but lawmakers. That is only your parliaments and state legislature. You nominate your MPs, MLAs. They go there, they sit there, they debate on topics, and they make new laws. So that's the main role of legislature. The next one is called as executive. What is executive? Law is made, but is it being implemented? Now, for example, on March 20th or March 22nd, 2020, Modi ji came and said, "मित्रों, कल से कोई नहीं बाहर जाएगा." But he said, people very politely he said, did we step out? Did we go out? First day we went out, people, until the police people did a knockout on us. Hinde they belted. You remember memes? So law is there. Unless and until a person who is there to enforce it, we will not follow the law. Police is the example of executive. So law is there. For example, whenever, now imagine if you guys have to reach here, yeah, few of you will drive and come, probably you will not have a DL. Few of you will drive and come, probably without wearing a helmet. Few of you though, you do not know that's a auto na, bike na, 4 members, hey, move us till there is space. We can give lift also on the way. You have so much of space on bike also. Yes. Now you remember, you will not follow the law unless you see the police police uncle standing on the way. Correct? Unless that is there, you will not follow the law. Correct? So, sir, executive does the job where you guys will implement the law because of them. The last person, very, very important person, is called judiciary. That is nothing but your judges. Now, this person says, what you did is wrong. You will say, no, what I did is not wrong. This person is telling, you only killed Renuka Swami. This person says, no, I did not kill Renuka Swami. Who will ultimately decide everything? It will come here. Now that part is very crucial in this case. You never know what will happen. There will be hundreds of political measures. You will be seeing pressures, but whatever they say is the ultimate judgment. Clear? So this is how our law on a overview. This is what it has been classified into. There are 3 people, and I hope you guys know. Whenever I write A versus B, what do you mean by that? A versus B means A has filed the case. This person will be called as a plaintiff. The person whosoever name is written first is always called as a plaintiff. The person who files a case. You will be seeing case laws in your company law as well as other acts also. So I am just explaining you the basics. You will see B. B means what, people? Defendant, on whom the case is filed. The person whosoever name is written as plaintiff, he would have initiated the case. He went and he started filing the case. Whenever you see B, that means it is filed against Mr. B. He becomes a defendant. Is this clear, all of you? But remember, it can so happen that whenever there is a judgment given, let us imagine the judgment comes in favor of Mr. A. B thinks what the judge gave is not fair. He did not look into the matters correctly. I am not the culprit if B feels. Now, imagine we went to, district court. You have hierarchies of court. The first court that will come is, imagine, district court. That's the smallest court. Now, if B feels what has happened to me is not fair, B can go to the next highest court and say, sir, can you please look into the matter? Whatever that judge said is not right, sir. Now, people, the case law will become ulta. It will become B versus A. Because B went and appealed, If I have to tell you in very layman's language, if you guys are watching your cricket, this is there, no? What is this, sir? Review, na? DRS, the umpire there said it is out. The batsman feels, no, I am not out. Because you think you have some extra evidence or you think you have not nicked the ball, whatever the scenario. You say, I want the next person to review it. The person sitting above the umpire wants to review it. Now that is only called as your DRS. In the judiciary system, this is only called as an appeal. Understood? Appeal means on a judgment passed by a lower court, you go to a higher court and say, I am not okay with the judgment. Is this clear, all of you? It's called as an appeal. Is this clear? Pakka? Yes? So this is how the judiciary is done. Now I told you that there are so many courts. Now already you guys know that there are how many cases pending in the Indian judiciary? From today people, every judge, whoever is sitting, if at all they need to make sure that imagine there are no cases pending, each judge has to closely solve around 1 lakh cases. If you are able to do that, then yes, all the judges in India, if at all you are able to do this, then yes, we will become zero, there is no pending at all. But the day impossible only, because when they are doing, it's not that no new cases will come, it will keep on going. Now the question came to, when already our courts are so much occupied, now the company related matters, insolvency related matters, LLP related matters, we can't again go and sit and, we cannot go and stand in the same queue where already Darshan is fighting. Papa, that judge is already busy. He can't listen to our case. So the company law people, when Companies Act 2013 was made, they were a little smart, and what did they do? They have their own court now. You need not go to the court that is a generic. You can go to a special court created by the company law. And the special court created only to hear company law related matters is called as a tribunal. Understood? Tribunal is always a quasi-judicial body, meaning it is similar to a court. Under the act only, instead of going to your district courts, high courts, we only create our own body. We need not go there. We have a specialized body to hear our matters. Such a tribunal created under company law is only called as NCLT. What does NCLT stand for? National Company Law Tribunal. Tribunals are always a specialized bodies created under that specific act. Another example if I have to give you, I think you guys have heard of SEBI. Hello SEBI? SEBI has a specialized body to hear only capital market related matters, and that is called as SAT. What is SAT? Securities Appellate Tribunal. So they will hear only their matters. Understood? Pakkana, NCLT hears company law, LLP, you would have heard of insolvency and bankruptcy. That all will be handled by NCLT only. Is clear all of you? I am trying to explain you who are the authorities that come under Companies Act. Is clear? Okay, now people, for example, we'll be seeing now incorporation of a company only. In the entire Companies Act, a reference will be given to central government. Meaning, imagine, let us take a scenario, you guys want to start your own companies today. Now, how can you start your own company? You have to register your company. How to register a company? They say you need to write an application to the central government. There are some forms and all you need to file it. We'll see all that. But you need to file some application to central government. Central government means what will come to our mind? That is BJP. As of now. BJP means what will come to our mind? Mitra! Oh, Modi ji, sorry. Correct? What will come to our mind? I'm saying that's the Prime Minister or the person who is in charge of the central government. That is what will come to your mind. Now you try to think. Now whenever you want to start your own company, you are filing an application. Do you really think central government, your PM will sit and see all your applications you guys are filing? Is it possible? So what did PM do to ease my job? He has further classified the industries into various ministries. And what is the ministry that takes care of Companies Act? That ministry is called as Ministry of Corporate Affairs, MCA. Like this you have various ministries, right? Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Tourism, Ministry of Education. You have so many ministries. So like that we have a ministry, that ministry is called Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Now whenever there is a ministry, there has to be a minister to take care of it. Who is the minister? Your minister only. Who is the Ministry of Finance? Now of course the things have been changed. But I'll take it before our election only. Ministry of Finance, who was it? Nirmala Sitharaman handles two ministries, MCA as well as Ministry of Finance was both with Nirmala Sitharaman only. So now tell me, whenever I need to start a company, I need to file an application to central government. So does that mean I need to file an application to Nirmala Sitharaman? Is it possible? Can Nirmala Sitharaman check all the applications filed in this entire country? Nirmala Sitharaman said, hey, this is not happening there. Modi ji gave it to me, but I also cannot handle. I need further more people. So what did Nirmala Sitharaman do? Nirmala Sitharaman appointed a few more people. And who are they? They are called as RDs. RD stands for Regional Director. Who are Regional Director? They sit in the top. They oversee things. In India, totally there are 7 Regional Directors. You can imagine. I will show you also how it is and all. I will show you in reality. But for now, just concentrate on the names. Let us see how it is further classified and all. So next comes people RD. Now how many RDs are there? 7. Now can 7 people take care of the entire country? No. Now further we came down to another person. And who is that person? Who? Now this person you know. Who is he? This person is called as people Registrar of Companies. Registrar of Companies. Now this person you guys know. Now whenever you need to do anything in Companies Act, everything will be seen by one person and that one person is called as ROC. Now people, you guys are also becoming a CA. Now another 1 year or 2 year according to your pace. Now once you become a CA, will you only work? No. Sir, you are interns, we will show them how what we did, we will do the same to them also. So, in the same way, under ROC, we have someone called as case workers. Now, these are further employees. Ultimately, interns are working. Signature is yours, no? Here also, case workers will work on your scenario. Signature will be ROC. Got it? The people working will be different. But ultimately, it will come under the signature of ROC. What a fair idea? Yes? Understood? Okay. Now, in reality, how does it look? This is our website. Once you guys clear CA, you will be spending half your time on this website only. Your day will start here, day will end here. You will be filing some returns or everything. I think you guys would have seen it in your accounts and all, financial statements of a company. Where will you file? You will file it on this website only. Yes? Okay. Sir, this is a website. Now, so this is the person I was talking about. The next person is called as Regional Director. It's clear? Sir, now how many Regional Directors are there, sir? Now, this is how the classification is done. I'll show you. ROC also I'll show you. This is how the classification is done. You can see the jurisdiction, huh? Yes, sir. This is how the RDs in India are classified. Why I am showing it all this to you? Now, once we start Companies Act, you will see references for NCLT. You will see a word called RD written. You will see a word called ROC written. Why? These are the scenarios and this is the people you are going to see. That's what I am showing it to you. Character introduction. Clear? Yes, sir? Okay. So if you click here, you will get the details. Who is the person? Who is the concerned person? Details and all you will get. Got it? This is how it is. Now the next person after him is your ROC. It is classified like this. Yeah. Now if you want to start a company in, say for example, Karnataka, there is a person called as ROC Bangalore. You guys know this Kendriya Sadan? Kendriya Sadan? Imagine this Madiwala underpass. Forum is there. After forum, the first signal you get. Take left to there. The right side, first government building. That's where your ROC Karnataka sits. Yes, sir. ROC Karnataka. Now, remember, any application in Karnataka will come to this place only. That's how the system is built. Is clear? Pakka na? So, every state has one ROC, except 2 states.
Chennai and
If you see, there are two states where every state has one ROC except two states. In two states there are two ROCs.
Tamil Nadu and Maharashtra.
In Tamil Nadu we have two ROCs. One is in Chennai, one is in Coimbatore. The next one is people in Maharashtra. One is in Mumbai, one is in Pune. Now start. Why, sir? We hate discrimination. Why don't we have two ROCs? The reason why there are two ROCs, the reason is the workload in these jurisdictions are more. The number of companies are more. Now because of that, logically, there are two ROCs. Nothing else to do with why is there special treatment and all, nothing. That is the reason. Is this clear, all of you? Got a fair idea? Sir, now how do we know this? Kerala also has two. One only, da. In the map, if at all it is two, it is one only. Kerala obviously one only. See? Clear? Now, Mr. Sanjay Sood, where is he? Clear? So this is the ROC. Number you will contact him. Simply I am showing the. As if he'll receive and say, yes sir, please tell me, how can I help you? You can't even talk to them. Simply they will give numbers, that's all. Yes, I'll tell you how the system works also. If at all you have to meet, there will be one waiting lobby. One Anna will be sitting, Manohar Anna. Once you guys get into the industry, he'll be your best friend. His name is Manohar. He'll give you one blank paper. You have to write your issue. See how important time management and space management is. You have to write your issue in this cheaty. You don't know what you will do, but it has to be in this cheaty. This cheaty will be passed to the ROC. ROC will call you if at all you have written a valid concern. That's how it is done. Logically think from his point also. For the entire state, he is the only ROC. Yes? Agreed? I'll tell you one thing. MCA is one ministry where the corruption is reduced to, at least I can say there is no corruption at all. Here and there if you see also it will be 1 or 2%. Everything will be online. There is no scope of corruption at all. Getting the point? Yes sir. So this is your ROC Karnataka. Got this? Except two ROCs. One is, where is it? Maharashtra and Mumbai. That is Mumbai and Pune. And next one is Coimbatore and Chennai. You can see here. So these are the only two states where you guys will find two ROCs. Got it? Got a fair idea? Yes, all of you? So, whenever a company gets into insolvency, heard of insolvency and all? You go to court, the court will appoint someone. Whom will they appoint? Liquidator. Heard of liquidator? Now, who is the liquidator? That will also come under our Companies Act only. These are the liquidators. Who are they, sir? Your jurisdiction will say who is the liquidator. For example, this page is not opening, but yes, you can see. Now this is how the liquidators will be. Now these are also the people who are governed under MCA only, official liquidators. Got it? Got a fair idea now? Yes, sir. So this is how your basics of Companies Act and people and regulators and authorities are placed. Understood? Got a fair idea? Yes. So whenever you guys are seeing a reference, why there are two ROCs? As I said, because of the workload. Now in these companies, the number of companies are more, the number of requests they get is more. So because of that, they have two ROCs. That's your ROC Mumbai, Pune and Coimbatore and Chennai. Yes. So now wherever you see a reference given for central government in Companies Act, it means MCA. Wherever you see central government, the reference is given to MCA. And we will see in certain cases, I will be telling you what is ROC, what is RD and all. I will tell you in that respective places. Is this clear, all of you? Yes? Okay. We will see one concept and then go for a break. Yes? Okay. Done. So let's start from some basics only. Write down types of companies. Types of companies. Types of companies. first one, the first type of company is called public company. The first type of company is called as public company. What is a public company? A company which is not a private company. A company which is not a private company is called as a public company. Now the definition is so simple. What do you mean by a private company? It is not a public company. Yes, a company which is not a private company. Here there is one point where they may ask you a question, write down. Provided subsidiary of a public company, subsidiary of a public company which is a subsidiary of a public company which is a private company shall be deemed to be a public company. Subsidiary of a public company which is a private company shall be deemed to be a public company. Yes. The second point I'll explain you once we see the subsidiary company definition, but we will see that little while later. Okay. The next type of company is called as people private company. What do you mean by a private company? A private company means which is given under section 2 clause 68. See, there is a reference for private company. We are seeing the definition of private company here only. Section 2, that means definition. We are covering something from chapter 1. Section 2 clause 68. Just like your dictionary, there are so many definitions. We are seeing the 68th definition, and that is only your private company definition. That's why it is called section 2 clause 68. Is clear all of you? Yes? Okay. Private company, what do you mean by a private company? A company which by its articles of association, a company which by its articles of association restricts the right to transfer its shares. Next one, limits its number of members to 200, except in the case of OPC, provided joint shareholders shall be treated as one past and present employees past and present employees are not counted in the limit. Past and present employees are not counted in the limit. Kobeda. Okay, the last one, it prohibits invitation to public to subscribe the shares of the company. To subscribe the shares of the company. To subscribe the shares of the company. Kapita? Yes, sir. I believe you guys would have seen this in your foundation somewhere. Private company. Okay. So, what do you mean by a private company? Telling a private company means every company has two main documents. One is called as MOA, AOA. What is AOA? A full form. What is AOA? For internal rules and regulations of the company, you guys have a document called as AOA. Now, in that document, a document which writes the internal rules and regulations of the company, in that document, if a company has these 3 points, all 3 points have to be there. If a company has all these 3 points, it's called as a private company. Even if one point is not there, technically you will become a public company. That's why you say, what is a public company? A company which is not a private company. When I say what is a private company? A company which has these 3 points in its AOA. If these 3 points are not there in AOA, by default it becomes a public company. Understood? Now what are these 3 points? You guys only see, I'll ask you a question directly. What do you mean by private company? See this definition for a minute. Yes, Sam. Pakana. Okay. Let us start. Question, people. There is a company called as XYZ Private Limited. Obviously, it's a private company. Now, in this company, people, there are 2 shareholders. One is A, one is B. Now, B wants, money. There is an emergency. He needs very immediate money. B wants to sell his shares. He wants to sell it to an outsider, and that person is called as C. Now B comes to you for your opinion. You as a chartered accountant advise whether can B sell his shares to C. Can he transfer? Yes, people. Can Mr. B transfer his shares to Mr. C? Is it possible? Is it possible? Possible not? How many of you think it is possible? Yes. Okay. How many of you think no, it is not possible? Hey. Lift all of you. Either yes or no. Remember, if it's a good answer, you will remember forever. If it's a bad answer, you will remember for next Janma also. Titu Singer. Yes, eliminate the wrong answer in the class only. How many of you think no, I cannot transfer? No, I can. Yatra kai. I want. Yes or no? Not possible? Yes, possible. Not possible. First one, okay. Remember, people, can B transfer his shares to C? Yes, sir, possible. Why, sir? We have written something called as restriction. In a private company, there is a restriction on transfer of the shares. That is what we wrote. Then how come you are saying it is possible? Is there a difference between the word restriction and prohibition? Yes, sir. Prohibition means no. Restriction means no. Probably no. What is that, sir? There are some conditions. If at all you satisfy the conditions, people, then you may transfer. What is the condition? Simple condition. Condition is that, hey Mr. B, you are selling the shares to an outsider. You do one thing. First ask your friend in your company. If A wants it, let him buy. If A wants it, let him buy. If A says no, no one in this world can stop you from selling your shares to any person whom you want, because that's your asset. You can sell it to whomever you want. Provided there is a condition. What is the condition? Ask your existing shareholders first. If they are interested, let them buy. If they are not interested, then you can approach an outsider. That is the restriction. There is a condition. You cannot directly go to an outsider. Is this clear? Pakkana? In exam, remember, if they ask you a word, it's called as preemptive right. Write it down there. It's called preemptive right. What do you mean by a preemptive right? Preemptive means, people, preemptive, Preemptive, preemptive right. It means the right of the shareholders to be consulted first. Now as a I have a right to be asked first before you sell your shares to C. From A's point of view, it's called as preemptive right. That means the right to be consulted first. So you need to ask him first before going to an outsider. Is clear? Now whereas, imagine if you are a shareholder of a public company. Now should B first come and ask A before selling it to C? No. So this condition, this restriction is absent. It becomes a public company. You can sell it to anyone in the world. It is your choice. Is clear all of you? Pakka? 100%? Okay. Now, my question to you people, a company XYZ Private Limited, now they have some questions to you, they have come to your advice, you please as a CA advise them. That is what is the question. Now what is that? The company wants to issue equity shares to 210 people. They want to issue equity shares in total to 210 people. Is this possible? Can I do it? Can I do it? Can I do it? How many of you think yes, it is possible? Hope is important. How many of you think no, it is not possible? Why do you think it is not possible? This was not at all a question. Illa it started. People 210 obviously not possible. The second condition says private company is a company which limits its members to 200. Now 210, it's beyond what is allowed according to the Companies Act. A private company cannot have more than 200 members. Is this clear? Pakkana? Okay, let us see whether you understood or not. A company wants to issue its equity shares to 190 people. It wants to issue 30. Okay, it wants to issue preference shares to 30 people. Now they are asking you for your advice. Can we do it as a combined effect? Can I issue my equity shares to 190 people? Can I issue my preference shares to 30 people? Together, can we do it? How many of you think it is possible? How many of you think it is possible? ಅವನು ಹಂಗೆ ಮೇಲ್ ಗೋಡೆ ಆಟ ಆಡ್ತದಾನೆ ಹಂಗೆ. How many of you think it is not possible? I cannot issue. Okay. Whoever said I can issue, can you tell me why? Preference shareholders are not considered as owners people. Hence, you can issue or not issue? You cannot issue people. Hope is important. Hope kalkobeda. Hope is yes, possible, not possible, people. I cannot issue. The words used are, you cannot have more than 200 members. Remember, point number 1, preference shareholders will be cut up in your exam. In accounts also, in law also. You will not know, Macha, why are you coming da? Huh? Whether to take you also is a problem. If we won't take you also, it's a problem. Remember, whenever the word member is used, it includes equity shareholder also, it includes preference shareholders also. The word they have used is 200 members. Members includes both equity preference. So both of them put together, people should not exceed 200. Clear? Huh? We'll see whether you understood or not. Allah, 100% you would have understood. The company wants to issue 150 shares, shares, equity shares to 150 people. They want to issue preference shares to 40 people. They want to issue debentures to 20 people. Combined, is it possible? How many of you think it is possible? How many of you think it is not possible? There might be. You never think you are alone. I am there for you. Anyone? Obru ilva? Yes. Why do you think? In totality, it is not coming to 200? More than 200. So I cannot issue it to this as combined? Okay. Any other person?
Sir, 20 like debentures, no, sir, they are not the owners. So they can be included.
They can be included. So you are saying this is possible. Okay. Anyone who says it is not possible? Anyone else? Why? Debentures will be considered as members, so you cannot go beyond 200, and that's why it is not possible. Yes, people. So what you guys said is absolutely So can I give it or not? Yes, I can issue. It is possible because debenture holders are not included in the definition of members. Members are only equity and preference. So can I issue? Now my question to you, can a private company issue debentures to 500 people?
Yes, sir.
Can you issue debentures to 500 people?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Possible?
Yes, sir.
Remember, possible. Clear? It is only a limit on equity and preference. Pakka? Okay. Now people, I know you guys have read the definition. Now focus on the board. A company has 206 shareholders. They do not know how to count and all. Directors do not even have a clue. So they have called all the shareholders for a meeting. Now they are sitting in a room. Now when they are counting 1, 2, 3, 4, oh my God, 206 people are there. Our director Anage sweat came because he thinks somewhere he remembers in his childhood that a private company cannot have more than 200 people. If I look at here, there are more than 200 people, 206 shareholders are there. He calls you for your advice. Can you please come and help me? I don't know what to do. Now you are coming. Now they are giving you a scenario. What is a scenario? In this 206 people, there are 2 shareholder systems who, when they were employees, they were performing really good. To appreciate their talent, we had given them some shares. They were with us for 2 years. Now they have left the company. They are working somewhere else, but still they hold the shares. So they have given you, there are 2 such employees who were the employees, now they are not there. So I'll just write as past employees. Now there are 2 employees who are currently working with us also. We have given them also the shares. Now they have also come and attended the meeting. Now there are 2 present employees as well. Yes, sir. Now there are another 3 shareholders. Together they are holding 1 share jointly. Have you ever heard of joint shares? Have you guys heard of in bank account? You guys will call it as a joint account? Yes. In the same way, imagine you guys have a joint demat account. So there are 3 people who are holding 1 share. Let us imagine they are holding 1 share. There are 3 joint shareholders. So the company gave you this data. Now you as a chartered accountant advise whether the company has violated the provisions of section 2 clause 68, that is of private company, or are they within the limit? We'll see. How many of you think they are within the limit? How many of you think no, they are not within the limit? Okay, why? Okay, whatever you say, I'll just do.
Three joint shareholders are there. So if they are considered as a one joint, then also if you don't consider this four.
Okay, the 4 I should not consider. Okay.
So for now you don't consider.
Okay.
And also it might cross 201, right?
So, according to you, it is coming to 201?
201 and this two also. You leave this for now, you leave this 200.
So, it is coming to 201 according to you. Others, someone said yes. You have to consider them as 1. So, has it exceeded the private company? Exceeded by how much? So, you are getting 201 na? 201 na? How many of you think 201 is answer? You get 202. Option, shuru madu. Wrong. 202. Okay, next. How many of you think it is 201? Okay. Yes, people, the right answer is 200 or 201 na? What? Yaar gurudu? Eno bantu? 190? 199. Okay. Anyone numbers? Yes, people, come on. Kudi? Anyone 207, 208? That's all? Okay. 199. Okay. Okay. You guys wanted day. You should tell it on your own, You guys want motivation, to tell 199. Okay. Now, people, let us try to see what is a number. So, one thing for sure, you saw in the definition of private company, under 200, they have given you some special 2 criteria. What is that? Now, whenever you are counting the shareholders, certain shareholders should not be counted, it seems. Who are they? Past employees, present employees. Here, anyone has a doubt? Okay. By default, we are excluding them. Now, here also, I'll tell you, few people will have a doubt. Sir, are you telling that these shareholders are just sent out? I'm not telling they are sent out. When I'm counting them, I will not count them. The reason also I'll tell you the logic behind this. See, whenever a company wants to appreciate their employees, they will give them some shares. Now, whenever you are giving your employees some shares, obviously you will not get money out of it. You will be just trying to appreciate the talent of the employees. So, here you would not be making money. Now, in private company, there is a limit of 200. So, the maximum number of people from whom I can take money is restricted to 200. Now, when this number is there in back of my mind, I will stop giving my shares to employees because I might exceed the limit someday. So, what will we do? We said it's okay when you're giving the shares to your employees, do not count them. You give it. He will have right to vote. He will enjoy right to dividend. Everything will be as it is. Just that they will not be counted in the limit of 200. That's all. Just to make sure that you get that extra cushion. You can get money whenever you want from outsiders. So that you will not exhaust this limit of 200. Understood? Pakka na? Yes, sir. Okay. So now there are 202 shareholders. Now, sir, they are telling you need to treat the joint shareholders as one. So we have called for a meeting. 3 people have come. For me to keep this scenario right, how many of them have to send out? Correct? 3 have come. We have to treat 3 as 1. 3 as 1. So how many do we have excess? Works. See?
200.
So the number we are getting is people 200. Now exact 200 people, am I satisfying the limit? Examo, exact limit, biggest kattappa. You will remember 200 and go. Remember, in company law, the biggest challenge is not the number. It is the words which is before the number and after the number. The words used are, it limits the number of members to 200, meaning up to 200 it is acceptable. You will see words where it has to be less than 200, meaning you will have to make sure it is 199. That's the word. So you will see those words and interpretations also in company law. The word is very important, and that's where the questions will come also. It's never 200. In exam, that's how they will ask. 200 only they will ask. Now after going after some 7-8 chapters, you will realize exact 200, whether should I take it or not is the first question that will come to your mind. Because you will see such limits. Are you getting the point, all of you? Yes? Okay. So in this case, sir, should I consider or not, sir? It will come to 200. Is clear, all of you? As of now, ESOP, sweat equity, everything comes here because they are considered as your employees. Is this clear? Pakka? And the last, so 200, sir, it is within the limits. So the company has not violated the provisions of Companies Act. You are seeing a theoretical definition. I am telling you your exam based question. This is how it will come. This is how your MCQ will be. Getting the point, Yes, Third one, sir. Can I, Which one? You have to take it as one. Correct. So, in 206, they had counted all three people. They have counted all three. But I have to count them as one, no? But they have counted as three. So, they have over-counted. So, I am eliminating the people they have over-counted. So, I am just taking off 2. Sir, will there be joint shareholders? Okay. Togolro. It is visible now. Okay, this is a share certificate, original share certificate of a company called Infosys. And when was this issued, sir? This was issued on the date 30th June 1993. Okay. Now, you guys will be seeing it in your ledgers, no? Something called as folio number and all. What is that folio? You would have left one space, nothing you will write there. What is that folio number? You also don't know why that is there. Why it is a format. Folio number is nothing but people where you guys will write the page number. Imagine, now there are so many shareholders in Infosys. If I have to know about any one particular person, they will maintain one book. I am going back to a very long back. They maintain one book. That book is called as Register of Members. Just like your attendance registers, you will have the details of all the shareholders in that book. Back then I am telling you. Now it is not there. It will be in DMAT mode. Now if you open ITL, Infosys Technologies Limited, in that is the page number 3168. If you open that exact page, there you can find who the shareholders are for this certificate, which holds I think around 100 shares. So for this 100 shares, who is the owner? You open that page, you will get to know. And let us imagine we opened. Oh my God, we have 2 people there. Dulip Shani and Maya Shani. Who are they? Who are they? Husband and wife. It can be mother and son also. It can be brother and sister also possible. Come out of that. Okay. So, Dulip Shani and Maya Shani are the joint shareholders for that 100 shares. Should we count them as 2 or should we count them as 1? We will count them as one. I will ask you a question. Imagine there is a fight amongst them that together they have everything in this one share. Now who will get the dividends? Who will get the right to vote? Is it that we divide 50-50? Or how does it happen? Whose name is written in the first they will get? Papa people, Maya Shahani does not know that. Dulip Shahani knew these people. He wrote his name first. Remember, at times writing first will make difference, people. According to the Companies Act, whosoever name is written first will be entitled for all the rights. So dividend will be given to Dulipana. No, Dulipana. Clear? Pakana. That's how it happens. Yes. Sir, can Maya do anything about this? No. Now she can do. There is one letter, one request you need to give it to the company. That request is called as transposition. I am here, sir, please move me up, sir. That is called as transposition. Of course, there are some procedures and all involved. If the procedures are satisfied, the transposition is possible. Not there in our syllabus, just telling it to you. Yes, that is how it works. Yes? That's what. So generally it has to be a unanimous approval. It should not be one person's approval. If not, what happens? It will again go into litigation. We'll be seeing that also. Remember the word, I'm telling it to you today. It's called abeyance. When we are doing dividends chapter, I'll tell you. But I don't know when it will come. It might be after some 8-10 days, but it will come. But you need to tell me, sir, remember, Titu Singh. Hala, ido. So you need to remember your past. You need to tell me. See that Titu Singh is great. Ivat madit, tomorrow you won't remember. Anna won't remember what Janma. He is great, inspiration. Yes, correct. What if Dulip does not give his share to Maya? You can hit him. I mean, you cannot do anything about it. Ignorance of law is not an excuse. If his name was written first, that is, you have understood it, that's all. So if he takes the entire dividend, he will take it. You don't have a choice. Why will shareholders enter into joint shares? Why do you have joint bank accounts? Can you tell me why? You guys don't have. I think your parents' generation, at least one person will have.
For interest or loan, sir?
No. Generally, why do we have joint accounts? Joint bank accounts also will be there. Why generally? Why joint bank accounts? Safety.
For loan, interest or loan?
So one people is controlling the other person's transaction. Imagine if your father comes and says, come, let us both be joint shareholders. I mean, joint bank holders. That means they are just trying to restrict whatever you guys can do. How is that? If you want to sign a check, both have to sign. If you want to take a loan, both have to sign. Adu alla. In reality, I will tell you what is the main purpose. Generally, it will be taken by senior citizens. Why? That too specifically it was made for government employees. Why? In government, if one of the spouses die, the other spouse will get the pension as long as they are alive. So, it will not be difficult to create further documentations when the person dies. That joint bank account only will become the survivor's bank account. The pension will start and will continue. That's the main purpose. Clear? So even here also, if any one person dies, automatically the 100 shares will become the other person's. And the beauty of joint account is that it will beat inheritance. That's the beautiful concept. What is inheritance? Now they both, let us imagine they are brothers and sisters only. They will have their own kids. If Dulip dies also, Dulip kids won't get the shares. Or if Maya dies also, Maya's kids won't get the shares. By default, if anyone dies, the 100 shares will go to the survivor, not to your legal representative. Sir, what if everyone die? Guttu. So, if everyone dies, there will be a nominee. It will go to the nominee. Yes, sir. Sir, what if nominee also die? What if avunu, ivunu, ella die? They will die, sir. In our story, they will die. What will you do? What if everyone dies, people? Huh? Company will take back the share? Yes or no? Obviously, because that is the most advisable provision. If everyone dies, then the shares will be Allah re. Simply you will say yes sir. No da. The law says Yelliyu salladdu, allige salluvudu. What do you mean by that, sir? Which does not belong to anyone, it belongs to me. Says Government of India. And this is called as doctrine of yes cheat. Ya cheat, sir? Yes cheat. Yes cheat means people name itself as we are cheating you. What is that? If you die without anyone, then we are your everyone. We will take back everything. It applies to properties, it applies to shares, it applies to everything. Clear? Yes, okay. So, this is your joint accounting. And the last one is people, a private company cannot advertise about investing money into its company. You cannot go for a public, I think you guys would have heard of it called as prospectus. IPO and all, you guys would have heard of it. A private company can never go for an IPO. You have to first convert yourself into a public company and then you need to list on your stock exchange and only then you can go for an IPO. You cannot issue a prospectus. Imagine when we are taking admission, we will also say, if you are interested, you can invest money into Infosys, you can buy 10 shares. Can we not just add that one point? Possible, no? We can't because it's a private company. You cannot advertise about your investment. Understood? That's your last one. That is only you saw it as prohibition. That's what you wrote. Correct? Prohibits invitation to public to subscribe the shares of the company. So private company definition, there are three words. Main thing you need to remember. One is restrictive, one is limiter, one is prohibit. If you remember these three, you remember private company. Clear? All of you?